Good morning, everyone. This is Sam, and I'm coming to you live from Florida. Hope that you're ready to do YogaShape. All you need is a bottle of water and a mat. If you have some weights, that's great. If you have a magic circle, even better. You can get one of those at Amazon. I've put on my fantastic oils for the morning. This morning I put on lavender, and I had a little bit of a headache. I think I had too much wine last night, so I put on a little peppermint. This has menthol in it, and so I just rubbed it in my temporal muscles here, and it definitely is helping a lot. So with no further ado, we're gonna get started. YogaShape is about an hour long, and I thank you for joining me. If you are there, please say hello this morning, and I will respond later. So say hello and say where you're coming from. Would love to know where everyone is at this morning. Okay, everyone, let's get started. I want to make sure this is going live. Okay, so let's get started on the center of our mats, and let's have our feet about shoulder width apart, and just rock your weight back and forth, shifting that weight back and forth, and then drop your shoulders down, and let's start picking our shoulders up and rolling them back, inhaling through our nose and exhaling through our nose, clearing your mind, focusing on your breath. And when you go back, squeeze those shoulders together. And then let's go the other way. We're just making nice, beautiful circles here, inhaling and exhaling through our nose. And then let's drop our arms down, inhale our arms all the way up to the sky, reaching up and stretching here, and just breathing into this. And then let's look forward, drop one arm down, place that hand here, and lift up and out of your rib cage into a standing lateral stretch here. Lifting up here, really feeling this all in here, inhaling and exhaling, and then let's inhale back up and exhale this arm back down, and then lift up and out of your rib cage. So we're not going over, we're just really getting that nice lateral stretch in here. And then let's inhale all the way up to the sky and swan dive forward, hinging at your hips, slowly dropping down into a standing forward fold. Then let's inhale and look up halfway to monkey, and exhale back down. Inhale back up to monkey, so we're just hanging here. In YogaShape, all of our poses have been renamed, so they're fun and easy to do. And let's drop back down. Reach behind and clasp your hands and extend your arms up to the sky. Drop your head down and try to straighten your legs if you can. If you have any low back pain, then keep a slight bend here and just breathe into this. Really try to lift your hips and glutes up to the sky, just breathing into this. And then let's release down, place your hands on the mat and inhale one arm up and bend one knee, and drop down and inhale the other arm up and bend your knee, breathing into this. And just holding here. Let's drop that down and inhale the other arm back up. And then we're just going to flow with that. So one movement with each breath. Let's release down and inhale up. And exhale down. Inhaling up. And then let's release down. Let's reverse swan dive all the way up, just rolling up one vertebra at a time. Inhale those arms all the way up to the sky, and let's come up on our toes here, coming up as high as you can. Clasp your hands, come down into your heart center, and let's just hold here, breathing into this, just squeezing those arms. Let's do 2 deep breaths. And then let's just come forward, still staying up on your heels or up off the floor, coming into a sit position. Just sit and hold this here, breathing into this. Let's inhale those arms up to the sky, and then drop them forward a little bit. So you're reaching forward. Sit a little bit lower if you can, and breathe into this. And then let's release and inhale all the way up, and swan dive forward, dropping all the way back down into a standing forward fold. Let's place our hands on the mat and step back with one foot and then the other foot, going into down dog. Let's just walk out those feet. So walk out your feet here in down dog. If you are there, say hello this morning. Walk your feet out, stretching out those calves, just breathing into this beautiful, nice down dog. So let's just go into that. Keep doing those. Trying to get this to show live so I can see it. Great. Okay, so just now let's go back into down dog. pressing those heels back. So spread out glance up and look at your hands. Make sure your hands are spread out and flat on the mat. And then drop your head back down. And let's do a few deep breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling through your nose. And let's come all the way up on our toes and just roll back down, stretching out that fascia on those feet and come all the way back down. Let's just come all the way forward, coming onto our knees and going into a cat-cow. So let's just make sure your shoulders are right over your elbows, right over your wrists, and let's arch up, pulling our abdominals up as high as we can, and just arching here over this, and then release down, dropping your belly button towards the floor and looking up slightly. Just don't hyperextend your neck back. Keep a slight bend in your knees here, and breathe into this. Then let's flow with this, inhaling up, and exhaling down and out. Inhaling up. And exhaling down and out. Inhaling up. And exhaling down and out. Inhaling up. And then let's come into a neutral spine. Let's go into a spinal extension. So extend your left arm and opposite right leg out. Lower this hip down. Drop your head so it's parallel with your arm. And find a focal point on your floor, point your toe, and let's just breathe, balance, and hold here. And then let's release down and switch sides. Inhale the other arm and opposite leg, point that toe. Don't let that hip pop up, square it off. Head down so you're looking at the floor, and we're breathing, balancing, and holding here. And then let's flow with this. So releasing down and inhaling up. One movement with each breath, breathing into this. With each inhalation, try to stretch a little bit further. If you're there, say hello, tell us where you're coming from today. And then let's just hold here at the top. If you want, you can drop this arm down. Let's point that back foot and focus on that and just do small little pulses. So just an inch or two range of motion, pulse, 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 pulse. Holding this, and then let's release down and lift up for 20, counting this, engaging your abdominals, counting to yourself and breathing. If you need to, you can drop this arm down. And then let's hold here at the top. Let's pull everything in, elbow to knee, and extend back up and out. So pull it in and then up and out. Breathing into this. Let's do 20 of these. Keep counting. Great job, everybody. 9, 8, we're almost there. And then hold here at the top. Drop this arm over. Cross this leg over so your arms are down. Slight bend in your elbows. Look back. Look at that nice straight leg. And then let's just lift that up and down for 20. Slight bend in your elbows. Abdominals pulled in. Breathing into this. And then let's hold here at the top. Bend this leg in and then extend it out for 20. So squeeze in and extend out. In and out. And then let's bring this leg back down, and we're going to lift it up to the side, our favorite fire hydrant lifts. So trying to lift up as high as you can and coming down for 20. And then just hold here in little pulses. And then let's release down. Let's switch sides. So extend the other leg up and extend the opposite arm. Find your perfect position right now, lowering those hips. And then Let's just drop this leg down and lift straight up and down for 20. Counting to yourself, breathing into this, the shaping part of our class. We're in warm-up. If you're there, say hello, leave an emoji. Even if you're watching after, we'd love to have you just tell us if you took the class or if you liked anything. Or what else you'd like me to do. Let's hold here at the top. Drop this arm down if you'd like. And little pulses, pulse, pulse, pulse. Small range of motion, but very effective. Keep that leg straight, breathing into this. Then let's cross it over, look back and make sure your leg is straight. And we're gonna lift up and down for 20. Breathing into this. Good job, everyone. You look great. All right, I think you look great. Then let's hold here at the top. We're gonna bend this in and extend it back out. So flex in and point out. Flex in and point out. Abdominals pulled in, flexing it in and pointing out. And then let's release down, getting ready for those fire hydrant lifts. So lifting up and then coming all the way down. Lift up as high as you can. We're doing 20 of these, counting to yourself, breathing into it. Good job. And then hold here in little pulses. Ooh, I'm feeling this. How about you? And then let's release down. Let's go into extended child's pose. Stretching those fingertips out on the mat. Resting your forehead down and breathing into this. If you need to, you can extend your knees out a little bit, or you could have a pillow. We're trying to get our bottom down to our heels. And then let's slowly come back up. Spread out our fingers and lift all the way back up. Lifting back up into down dog. Let's extend one leg up here. Square your hips and just breathe into this. And then let's just open up here, opening up our hips and out to the side, just opening this up. Let's do a few hip circles here, just opening everything up, saying good morning and hello, and switch sides. And then release back down and switch the other leg up. Square off your hips and then open up here and going around one way and then circles the other way. And then let's release down. And let's step all the way forward to the mat, so we're in standing forward fold. And then let's reverse swan dive all the way up to the sky. Extending our arms up to the ceiling, clasp your hands, come down into your heart center. Grab water if you need it, and let's just come to the front of our mats. Inhale all the way up. And swan down, swan dive all the way down, dropping to standing forward fold. Let's step back with one foot. And then the other foot going back into down dog. And then from here, let's drop down to our so we're gonna drop to our forearms like this. And then we're just gonna lift back up here. Your head is relaxed here and just hold here. Shift your weight back and forth a little bit, see what this feels like. Just breathe into this. And then we're gonna bend our knees down a little bit, about an inch off the floor. And we're just gonna do little pulses here with our knees, so a few pulses up and down off the floor, just breathing into that. And then let's come all the way back up and then drop back down to those little pulses, just doing a few of these, and then extend back up to the sky. And then let's drop back down. Let's lift up. Let's go into a plank pose. So plank here, spread out those fingers, shift your weight forward, lower your hips down. You're looking straight down. And then we're just gonna bend one leg in and extend it out, and bend the other one in and extend it out. So lower those hips down, breathing into this. So you're just bending it in and coming back, in and back. If this is too much, you can always just drop to your knees and just hold here. So we're just bending a little bit and dropping back. Let's do a few more of these. And let's hold here, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop your legs down. Let's go back into that extended child's pose. And let's come all the way forward. Let's just lower ourselves down to the mat. We're gonna do reverse push-ups just to work on our form. So have your toes up, hands in tight near your chest, and we're just gonna power lift up, and then we're just gonna lower down. And we're gonna do 10 of those. So 10, lowering down. 9, and lower down. 8, lower down. 7, good job. Lower down. 6, 5, 4, 3, only 2 more, 2, and 1. And just hold this. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. Go into extended child's pose for a moment. Rest your forehead on the mat. Just catch your breath. And then let's slowly come all the way up onto our mats. We're going to get ready to do our sun salutations. So place your hands on the mat. Let's lift all the way back into that beautiful down dog. You should feel quite warmed up right now, but we're going to step all the way forward with one foot and then the other foot going into our forward fold. Let's slowly inhale and come up to monkey and exhale back down. And then reverse swan dive, arms out to the side, lifting all the way up to the sky. And clasp your hands and come into your heart center. So that was half of a sun salutation, but we're gonna do 4 of these. We always do sun salutations. We always do 4 or more. So let's come to the front of our mats. Inhaling all the way up to the sky. And swan diving forward, dropping all the way down here. Inhale and look up to monkey. Exhale, back down. Step back with one foot and then the other foot going into a down dog here or a one-legged down dog, your choice. And then from here, let's come forward into plank, lowering down into crocodile. So your hands are really tight here and then flatten everything down. Feet flat behind and inhale up into this up dog, cobra, and then all the way up dog, lowering back down. Let's press and lift all the way back up and roll back into down dog, stepping all the way forward with one foot, one big lunge, and then the other foot, so you're in standing forward fold. Inhale, look up to monkey. Exhale, back down, and reverse swan dive all the way up, reaching up to the sky, slight back bend if you want. And when you do that, really squeeze your legs and everything in tight here if you do a back bend, and then come back forward. So we're gonna do a couple more of these, just breathing into this. Inhale all the way up. Swan diving forward. Inhale and look up to monkey. Exhale, back down. Step back with one foot and then the other foot going into a one-legged down dog or down dog, coming forward into our plank, dropping down into crocodile. Inhale into this up dog here or all the way up. Exhaling back down. Let's press, lift, and roll all the way back into down dog. Step forward with the other foot. Standing forward fold. Inhale and look up to monkey. Exhale, back down. And reverse swan dive all the way up to the sky. Coming back into your heart center. We're gonna do 2 more of these. So come back to the front of your mat and let's inhale all the way up to the sky. Swan diving down. Inhale and look up to monkey. Exhale, back down. And then step all the way back into your down dog. And then let's step from there, coming forward into plank, lowering down to crocodile. Inhale up to up dog. And exhale, back down. Press, lift, and roll all the way back into that down dog, stepping all the way forward with one foot. And then the other foot. Inhale and look up. And then exhale down. And then reverse swan dive all the way up. And come back into your heart center, coming to the front of your mat. We're gonna do 1 more, and I'm just going to go through the motions. 1 movement with each breath. And so I'm gonna wait for you here. Let's come into our heart center. Grab your water. You should be nice and warmed up. Now we are gonna go into mountain 2. So hopefully you feel super warmed up. Grab water if you need it. It's always great to be hydrated. It is hot out this morning, so I'm drinking my water. Okay, so let's come back to the center of our mats. Let's bring our legs together, and we're going to go into chair. So let's just sit down into that chair, shifting your weight back. Your big toes should pop up off the floor. Your hands can be here or up higher. Trying to get that arm up near your ears, sit a little lower, squeeze those legs together. And then let's come into our heart center and let's just twist to one side. So wrap your elbow around your knee, twisting to one side, sit a little lower. And then open those arms up. If you can, if you want, you can bind, reach an arm behind, breathing into this. You can be here or just here. And then let's come back to the center and switch sides. And come back to the center. Let's release those arms down, drop your head down, and just breathe into this, really trying to lift those glutes and hips up to the sky. And let's place our hands on the mat. Let's step back or hop back. Let's go into down dog. And let's just shift our weight to one side, wrap your arm around, and then bring those hips back. Widen your stance a little bit if you need to. We are in a one-armed down dog. You can always stay in down dog if you don't want to do this. And then let's switch sides. Bring this one down. Just shift your weight a little bit to bring that arm up, and then bring everything back. One arm down dog. Keep breathing. Inhaling and exhaling through your nose. And then let's come back here. So let's get ready. Let's step all the way forward with one foot, pivot and flatten our back foot, and rise up, rotating your shoulders out and around. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Let's lunge a little bit into this and arch back a little bit. So when you're first starting, your hips might not be as flexible as you want them to be. So imagine you have headlights here. They might be shining here. As you get more flexible, you really want to be able to, you'll be able to rotate more, and they will shine this way. So that is the goal. I'm shining straight ahead. Let's go into warrior 2, dropping your arms to the side and lunging a little bit deeper and pulling back your upper body. Glance down and make sure you can see your big toe and the inner part of your thigh, and flatten that palm of your foot out. Sit lower, pull back, breathing into this. And then let's go into reverse warrior. So drop this arm down and raise this up either right here, or you can start to arch and go over as much as you can, what feels good to you. And then let's come back into that warrior 2, lunging and pulling back a little bit, breathing into this. And then we're just going to straighten this leg up. We're going to windmill our arms down. We're going to square our hips with our leg, and we're going to go into pyramid. So you can drop your hands down to your leg or to the floor or out in front of you. We're trying to have both legs straight, so if they're not, shorten your stance a little bit and just breathe into this. Let's do 5 deep breaths. Let's think about sending the air through our body, through our diaphragm, and then out to your leg, and then all the way out to your pinky toe. And then let's reach behind and clasp our hands and extend our arms up to the sky. Pyramid, arm extension, breathing into this. Then release those arms down. Let's walk our arms out to the center, turn your toes around, and just drop down here, both arms on the mat. If you can, reach out and grab those ankles here or your toes, and just breathe into this. And I want you to play with shifting your weight back and forth. So come forward a little bit so you almost feel as though you're going to fall over, and just notice how that feels. And then shift your weight back a little and notice how that feels. So just kind of become aware of your own body. Just by a little shift forward, how much that changes the pose. Okay, now we're going to just turn to the other side. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So let's rise up, coming up into our, rotating our shoulders out and around, coming up into warrior one. So lunge a little deeper, arch back, glance down and make sure you can see your big toe on the inner part of your thigh and flatten out that back foot. Looking up or straight ahead. And then let's go into warrior two. Lunging a little bit deeper, pulling back a little bit. We're stretching, and don't let those arms be here or here. We are stretching in 4 different directions, really working our bodies. And then let's go into reverse warrior. And come back into warrior two. Lunge a little bit deeper, pull back a little bit, and breathe into this. And then from here, let's straighten those legs. Just shorten your stance a little bit. We're going to windmill our arms over. So we're going into that pyramid. So we're squaring our hips. Those headlights should be shining forward. Lowering down here, dropping your arms down to where you want to be. And just breathe into this. Both legs should be straight. And you can clasp your hands and extend your arms up to the sky if you want. So pyramid, arm extension. And then let's release those arms down. Walk these legs, these arms out and just lower down. Drop your, see how low you can go. You can widen your stance a little bit. If you can drop to your forearms, that's fantastic. And just breathe into this. Now shift your weight a little bit forward and lift your bottom up more. So shift weight forward and lift that butt up towards the ceiling. Try to get down lower if you can. Place your head on the mat. And then let's slowly rise back up, coming back up, walking your hands in. Let's just bring those feet in a little bit. And then let's just reverse swan dive all the way up, nice and slow, lifting all the way up to the sky. Turn back to one side and lower those arms down. Let's go back into that down dog. And let's just press back here. So we're going to get ready to do a similar series on the other side. So we're going to do warrior one, warrior two, reverse warrior, and then we'll throw in some triangles. So let's get ready. Let's step all the way forward with one foot, pivot and flatten your back foot, and rise up, rotating your shoulders out and around. We're going into warrior one. Lower down, arching back, breathing into this. And then going into mountain two, or warrior two, lowering down, pulling back. Nice breath, stretching in 4 different directions. If you're there, say hello. Let's go into reverse warrior. And then let's slowly come back. We're going to go right into side angle pose. So just lower your hand right on your hip, sit into this, put your other hand, your hand on your thigh, your other hand on your hip, and then come to your shoulder and right out over your ear and lunge into this a little more. So we're trying to create this nice line here. You can always drop down to the floor if you want or go into a bind, or you can stay right here. And then let's windmill those arms back up. Let's just shorten our stance a little bit. We're going into triangle. So arms up, everything up, and reach forward, hinge, reaching forward like you're grabbing something. I'm reaching out to this orchid. And then we're just going to tick-tock our arms down to the floor or to your leg. And let's imagine we have a big clock here. Let's wind it up. So wind up this clock. I'm going to go this way. Let's wind up our clock. We are going to go wind up this big clock. Let's wind it up. Okay, and then let's just open it up here. So open it up to 12. Trying to stack your shoulders on top of each other. And you can look down to the center or straight up. Straight up is actually the most challenging. And then let's take this arm and bring it down. If you have a block, you could place it on the block or the floor. And then switch the other arm up to the sky. Reverse triangle. Both legs are still straight. We're breathing into this. And then let's lower down. Let's drop down to our knee and flatten that foot behind. So your knee should be right over your ankle. And let's just lunge into this, breathing into this. Feeling this stretch all in here, right in our hip area. You might feel tighter on one side than the other. And then let's just shift the weight back, straightening this leg, let this toe pop up off the floor, and I want you to sit into this, lower down into this. Try to straighten this leg if you can. Breathing into this. And then let's slowly come all the way back forward again. You can stay here or you can scrunch up that toe and lift up and hold here. Your choice. And then let's raise this arm up to the ceiling. So nice little twist here. You can bring this arm around and bind if you want to. And then let's bring that arm back up. Let's lower back down. Bring this arm back around here. Drop that foot down. Everyone come back down to your knee. And then let's just lower down into this a little bit more if we can. You can wrap your arm around your leg. Just shift this weight back and forth here, breathing into this. And then let's slowly come back up and out of this. Place your hands on the mat. Let's lift back up. Let's go back into down dog or you one-legged down dog. You can be here. You can come up. Let's just breathe into this. Let's do 5 deep breaths here. And we're going to do the same series on the other side, so we have balance and symmetry. YogaShape is going to help tone up your body really fast. It's going to help you find areas that are weak and strengthen them. And it'll improve your posture, lower your blood pressure. So many amazing things can happen. Let's get ready for this series. Let's step all the way forward. Pivot and flatten your back foot. Let's rise up, rotating our arms out and inhale up. Lunging into warrior one, slight arch back, breathing into this. And then let's drop our arms out to the side, lunge a little bit deeper, pull back a little bit, breathing into this. From here, we're going to go into reverse warrior. And then let's bring those arms back. We're going right into this side angle. So drop this hand on your thigh. Your other hand is out here. Let's put it on our hip and then to our shoulder. And then go right out over your ear and then lunge into this a little bit more. Reach out here towards the ceiling and that corner. And try to lunge into this a little bit more. Your knee is right over your ankle. Breathing into this. And then let's come back up. We're going to go into triangle. So shorten your stance a little bit. Lift your arms up. Stand up nice and tall. And then let's hinge forward. Let's reach forward and grab that something forward. And then tick-tock those arms down. And then let's wind up our clocks. So let's just wind up these clocks we have here. Find which way you want to go. Wind up your clock. Wind it up. Can't decide which way I want to go today. Winding up this clock and then open it up here to 12. Stacking those shoulders on top of each other. Breathing into this. And then let's release this arm down to the floor, placing it on the mat and switching, bringing the other arm up to the sky. Both legs are straight. You can look down to the side or up. These triangle poses are fantastic for low back pain, or if you're sitting in your chair all day, they really help with your back. And then let's release this arm down. Let's bring this leg down. Let's drop down, foot here, and come into this lunge. So make sure your knee is right over your ankle. If it's not, readjust it a little bit. Do some little micro adjustments. So I'm so glad you're joining me today. If you are there, please leave a comment, or if you're not comfortable leaving a comment, send me a DM. Let me know, that you were there and what you liked from the class. It's nice to hear from students around the world. Okay, let's shift this weight back. Try to straighten this leg. Let your toes pop up and drop your head down. Sit a little bit lower, really feeling that all in here. Feeling that in your hamstrings. And then let's come forward here. Now again, you can scrunch up your toe and lift up to here. And we can raise up to this, or you can be on your knee, your choice. You can stay here, you can bring that arm around into a little bind here. All these poses, if you're more advanced, you can take them to another level. We're trying to keep this kind of a beginner, sometimes beginner intermediate class. And let's come back down, let's drop back down, flatten that foot down, and let's bring this arm around and drop your arms down if you can, trying to get down to your forearms. Wrap this arm around here, trying to almost get your shoulder right under this leg. We're trying to weasel that under there to get it under. And then let's release out of this, slowly come up and out, come back to all fours. Let's just do a couple cat-cows. So arching up, dropping down, arching your spine, slight bend in your elbows. Inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Let's lift back up. Let's come up. Let's lift this leg up to the sky and open it out to the side. Drop your head down. And let's do 5 circles here. And let's go the other way. And then let's just, you can stay here, or if you want and you have enough room, well, there's 2 ways I'm going to show you what we're going to do. You can be on your mat and be with one foot out in your hand here and just lift up like this. That's where we're going to go to from here. So let's come back up to here. You're going to drop this foot down and then flip this foot out flat and then lift up and out, breathing into this. And then let's slowly come back down. Everyone come back to a down dog. So it's kind of up to you how you want to do it. You might not have enough room where you are. So let's raise the other leg up and bend it over and out and do 5 circles here. Going one way, doesn't matter which way. And then let's go the other way. Just opening up that hip socket. And then hold here. Now again, you can do this flip-flop talk here where you drop this leg down here and extend this out and lift up and out, or you can just sit down on the floor, lift your one leg up, hand here, and just lift up. Your choice. And then let's slowly lower down. Let's have everybody come back to all fours. Let's place our hands on the mat and let's lift all the way up. We're going to do some crescent lunges. So let's go back into down dog. Let's step all the way forward with one foot. Your heel is up on the other foot, and let's slowly rise up, coming up to your thigh, and then coming to your heart center. Let's lunge a little bit lower, and then inhale those arms up to the sky. And you can arch back a little. You can clasp your hands together if you want here as well. Breathing into this, and let's come into our heart center. If this is too much, you can always, again, drop to your knee and be here. We're going to twist to this inner thigh, wrapping this elbow around our knee and come to here. So you can be here or here. Breathing into this. You can open up, shift your weight forward. And slowly come back to this center and then release down. Let's bring this leg back into down dog. Let's do a couple deep breaths and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So let's step forward with the other foot. And we're slowly going to rise up into our crescent lunge. So find a focal point. You might just stay here. You can be here. You can raise your arms up. Let's sit a little lower, arch back a little bit. Let's come back into our heart center and go into our twist here. Again, you can drop to your knee if you want. You can be here or here. Shift that weight forward. So you can play with that. If you're here, shift it forward. Your knee is right over your ankle. Then let's lower everything down and come back down onto our mat. Let's come down on all fours. We have made it to mountain 3. Congratulations. Let's come all the way down. Arms really tight here. We're going to go into Superman. So drop your head down and extend your arms out straight in front of you. So we're just going to lift up left arm and right leg and then lower down. So We're just lifting up. Our head is staying parallel with your arms, and we're just lifting up and down. Opposite arm to opposite leg. Try to lift as high as you can. Keep that toe pointed, leg straight. And then let's just release down. Rest your head to one side for a moment. Get a breath. And then let's come back to the center. We're going to go lift up. We're going to go swimming. So just swim here. We're swimming. Kick your feet as fast as you can, legs straight. Just swim. We're swimming. And then let's lower down and just rest to one side. Now we're going to come back to the center. Extend your arms out. Now you may not want to do your legs and your arms, so we're going to be doing this with our arms. So out to the side. If you want, you can lift your legs up and then come back down. Let's do a few of those. Let's do 2 more. And then let's release down and rest here. Catch your breath, breathe into this. We're working our low back. My computer does not stay. It keeps going off. So let's do 1 more of those. This time we're going to do this punch up. So we're just going to do our upper body. So we're lifting up and pulling back this punch. Punch. So you make a fist with your hands and lift up and pull back. We're targeting that back flab near our brows. So pull back. Toes are pointed and pressed into the floor. Press those legs into the floor and let's release down and just rest for a moment. We're going to do that whole series 1 more time. If I can remember what we did. So let's extend our arms up and opposite arm to opposite leg. Lifting here and breathing. Legs as straight as you can get it. Try to lift your arm and leg up together. And then let's rest to the side and grab, take a breath. And then we're going to go swimming. So let's come back and let's go swimming. Breathing into the swimming, kicking those feet as fast as you can. Your head is looking down and then release down and rest to the side. And then we're just going to extend our arms and legs out and lift up and down. And release and rest down to the side. Just shift your hips side to side, a little shimmy here. And then let's come back to the center, arms out. Now you can do just your arms or arms and legs, so we're lifting up and out like this. And then let's release down. Stretching your neck to one side and breathing, letting any tension you created go away. We've got that last one with the punch, so make a fist with your hands. Let's extend those hands out with a fist. And we're going to lift up and pull that back and come back down. Squeeze it back. Targeting that back flab. That yucky back bulge. And great, let's release down. That whole back area should be burning. Let's just shift side to side. And then let's release, bring our hands in really close. Let's lift up and go right back into an extended child's pose. Let's rest our forehead on the mat. Let's actually bring our hands down to a resting child's pose. Just rest your forehead on the mat and just breathe into this. So we've been working on our hands, we've been working each week on this pose. So if you have any rings, take them off. And what I want you to do, you're going to clasp your hands and make a book. And you're going to make a 90-degree angle here. Okay, so you're going to place your hands on the mat, your book. Drop your forearms down. I don't want your elbows out wide. I want them in close. And you're going to butt your knees right to your elbows. Place your head in your hands, forehead on the mat. Scrunch your toes up, and then let's lift up here. And we're walking our feet as far forward as we can, so we're trying to get a nice straight spine. Then if you can, you pick up one foot and then the other. You could always move to a wall for this. Let's just try this here. So let's lower back down and extend those arms out. So you could always, if you're afraid of falling over, I don't want you to fall over, you can always pause the video and go to a wall so you can practice this on a wall. So let's make a book with our hands. Place this book on the mat. Drop your forearms down. Butt your toes, your knees to your elbows. Place your head in your hands. Scrunch up your toes and let's lift up. Walking this forward, and then you're just going to pick up one foot and then the other, and you're going to balance, and then you're slowly going to lift up. Breathing into this. And then let's slowly come back down. And let's go into extended child's pose. Resting, extending those arms out to the mat. Breathing into this, resting your forehead down. We're going to do this one more time just so you can practice it. And this is your homework. I want you to practice. You will be able to do this. So make that book with your hands. Place that on the mat. Elbows down. The biggest thing I find people doing is their elbows are out wide. Get them in as close as you can. Bring your knees right to your elbows. Scrunch up your feet so everything is in alignment with like a little choo-choo train. Tight here. So your forehead is on the mat. You're going to lift up and walk in. And then slowly come back down and lowering down. And let's go into extended child's pose. Now when you're first doing this, it is a lot of pressure on your head. You're not used, most people are, that's where they complain. They say it's too much pressure. You're not used to it. So just ease yourself into it again. And if anything ever hurts or it feels really uncomfortable, then just don't do it. So I'm gonna grab some water. We are totally in Mountain 3. We have a few more poses to do. Some ab work. So if you have a magic circle, then grab it. If you don't, that's okay. These things are awesome. I highly recommend getting one. You can get them from Amazon or just online. So we're gonna put this in between our legs and we're gonna sit up nice and tall, extend our arms out, and we're gonna make a little curve. So tuck your spine, your tailbone in, make a little C curve, and just lower down on the mat. So we're trying to almost get our sacrum down to the mat, and you're engaging here. Squeezing this in, your legs in, and let's do little pulses. So just little pulses here. And it's okay, if you don't have the magic circle, you're still gonna get a great ab workout here. It doesn't look very hard. I was teaching a class in San Jose, California, and these 3 guys, it was a mat Pilates class, and 3 guys came to the class thinking, oh, this is a joke, this is so easy. I had them dying and panting here when we did this. Let's slowly come back up and sit up nice and tall. Just this is your rest, and then let's arms back out, lower back down, and let's do little pulses here. It was kind of funny. They left definitely humbled. Let's try to get that sacrum a little bit lower. We're trying to get lower here. And then let's come back up and sit up nice and tall. Let's do one more of these. So tuck, make that C curve, lowering that sacrum down till you feel everything engage. Arms out straight and little pulses. Good job. And then let's slowly come back up, sitting up nice and tall. Now this time, let's just make that C curve, arms out, and we're gonna lift one up and then the other one. So try to lift that arm up as high as you can get it. But if you can only go to here, that's okay. Do what you can do. These are tough. Breathing into this. And then let's slowly come back up and sit for a quick breath. And then let's go back down. C curve, arms out. You're gonna come up, down, and out. So up, down, out. We're only gonna do a few of these on each side. Breathing into this. And then let's release, coming back up. We're just doing 5 on each side. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So roll down, arms here. Up, down, open and out. Up, down, open and out. Up, down, open and out. Woo, I am feeling this. I don't know about you. And let's come back up here. Great job. Let's slowly lower down, all the way down to the mat. Make sure you're on your mat. Make sure you're in the center of your mat. And let's bring our feet in, reach down, and make sure you can, if you have the magic circle, let's set it to the side. Let's make sure we can reach our heels and let's touch them. Place your hands on the mat. Let's just lift up. Lift your bottom up and off the floor. You can even, let's actually tuck our hands right under our butt to just lift up even more. Give yourself an extra lift here. Make sure there's a space between your chin and your chest. Imagine there's an apple there. Just press up a little more and then release those arms down. Hands flat on the mat and we're looking straight up. Then let's lift up one shoulder. Tuck your shoulder under. So just lift up and tuck this under and do the same thing on the other side. And put those hands there and just press up, feet flat on the mat. Make sure your knees are those headlights. Imagine you had headlights on your kneecaps. Those are shining forward. So let's just stay here. Let's squeeze our glutes here right now. And then let's just lower that bottom down and lift back up here. Squeeze everything, lift up as high as you can. Just breathing into this. Be aware of those knees. I don't want them out to the side. I want them pointing straight forward. And then let's just lower down for a moment, one vertebrae at a time. We're going to lift back up, so you can just lift up into where you were. Or if you want to take it to the next level, you can go into a back bend. So bring those feet back in. Make sure you can touch your heels with your hands. Knees are pointing forward. If you're going to go into the back bend, let's bring our hands up right here. And we're going to press them firmly on the mat. And we're going to lift all the way up into a beautiful back bend. And then let's slowly lower back down. Pick up, before you lower your body down, lift your heels up and then lower down one vertebrae at a time. Once you're there, let's bring our legs in towards our chest. Massage that sacrum into the mat, doing little circles. And then let's go the other way. Let's come back in. So we're going to do that once more. And if you want to, you can add on to this a little bit. So you can do that back bend, or you can do just the bridge, or you can do back bend, or you can go into a wheel. So if you're going to do wheel, I always bring my foot in a little bit in. I line it in a little bit closer to my belly button. Just reach down, make sure you can touch there. Let's lift up to where you want to be. Again, if you're going into the back bend, hands behind. And we're going to lift all the way up. And then if you want to go into wheel, shift your weight a little bit to one side and lift up. Try different legs. Ooh, that one's hard to teach and do it. Talk and do it. So let's slowly come back down, bring those legs back in, and just slowly roll yourself around. Breathing into this. Let's come back down. Let's extend our legs up to the sky. Reach those arms up. Let's just rotate our arms around and hold one arm and palm out one way and then the other. Just because we did work those arms a little bit. Okay, you can stay here in this beautiful inversion, or if you want, you can go into plow, your choice. So if you want to do plow, hands flat on the mat, and let's press and lift all the way over, going into this plow. Imagine that apple under your chin, hands flat on the mat. Just breathe into this. Shift your weight a little bit so you get right on your shoulders. And then you can place your hands here for support, trying to get them to your low back. And then using your strong abdominals, let's slowly lift up. Lifting up, come up as high as you can, and then walk your hands down a little bit more and go a little bit higher. Go even higher. Try to get as straight as you can. Breathe into this. And then bring your toes down. Play with this, have fun. Wherever you are in this pose, as adults, we tend to stop. We don't play anymore. When we were kids, we used to come home, change our clothes, play the rest of the day. So we can be in this upside down V, or we can go into just play with some different poses, what feels good to you. Wherever you are in this beautiful inversion. They say an inversion a day keeps the doctor away. So whatever you want to do here, maybe you try, work on your splits. Okay, let's slowly come back down. As we lower those feet down, imagine that apple under your chin and release those hands and have them on the mat. Bring those legs down to the floor. Then let's bring one arm up and then the other if you can. Both up here, almost like a big bug. I don't know, like a funky bug. And then let's slowly lower down. Bring those hands back down, then lower down one vertebra at a time. Try to come down controlled from your upper back to your mid back to your low back. As soon as you come down, pull your legs tight into your chest. Feel that back compress and flatten on the mat. Just support your back. If you have any back pain, it's usually some of these poses you can't do, but some of them like triangle and cat-cow, those are so great. Let's go into fish, scoop up, sit on your hands, extend your legs out straight, and let's arch up and look back. Countering that back bends with our forward bend with a back bend. I try to always do fish after doing plow and inversions. And then let's slowly come back down. Bring your arms, inhale your hands out over your head, point your toes, and then let's come back, flex. Inhale up over your head and point your toes, and exhale down and flex. Breathing into this. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale your arms up over your head. Point those toes, and then this time, let's just rest our hands right on our hip bones and let your feet just flop out to the side. Let's close our eyes and let's do 10 deep breaths together. We've made it. You made it to Shavasana. That's the only pose I actually will name. As I've said, YogaShape Method. We've renamed all the poses so they're fun and easy to remember. The goal is to bring yoga to the masses, to get people to move their body. You know, if you don't use it, you lose it. So many people tell me, oh, I just don't like yoga. So I always say, try it. If you like my class, great. You might not like mine. Maybe you want to do yin, where they hold the poses for almost 4 to 5 minutes. There's hot yoga, there's kundalini yoga, there's power yoga, yoga with weights. It's really just moving your body and finding a teacher or modality that works for you. But it's so good for our body, our heart, body, mind, and soul. So just keep breathing here. I'll stop talking so you can just focus on your breath. Inhaling through your nose, lifting up through your rib cage, and then exhaling back down, letting everything release. And then we're going to slowly start to come back. In my normal classes, we would stay here about 5 to 10 minutes. I would lower the lights, and while you're here, I would bring your glass of water with lemon in it for you. My students always love that. Let's inhale our arms up over our head. And exhale, one arm down, roll over to your side in a fetal position. Pull your legs in, and then let's slowly come up onto all fours. So let's just sit here together, arms out, sit up nice and tall. Let's inhale our arms all the way up. And exhale your arms down. Let's do a trunk roll to each side, rolling around. And switch sides. And let's come back to the center. Inhale all the way up. Exhale down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Nice big inhale. One more. Noticing how you feel now versus when you first started. You've worked your body mentally physically, emotionally, spiritually. Namaste. I thank you for joining me. It's just a pleasure to be able to stream live yoga classes from my house to yours. I'm gonna grab my water. So I hope you've enjoyed the YogaShape Method class. If you like it, please share with your friends and family. I am really enjoying doing these for people all over the world while we're all in this crazy pandemic and lockdown. Like I said, please just tell anyone else you know about the YogaShape Method. It's an athletic fitness yoga to make you sweat, and we do a lot of core sculpting, toning, targeting. And I hope you enjoyed the class. If there's anything you want me to add, please just DM it to me, or just say, hey, I'd love to do this or that, and I'll try to incorporate that in for tomorrow's class. I will be streaming live YogaShape Method tomorrow morning, 9:30, from my house again to yours. We're recording all the sessions, and I hope to see you on the mat. Okay, bye. I'll see you all later.